Welcome to photosNtravel, a show that introduces you to fascinating places around the world. Please welcome our host and tour guide, Jonathan Van Bilsen.
Hello and welcome to photosNtravel. In this episode, we're going to visit the French Riviera, playground of the rich and famous, with stops in Nice, Cannes, and the picturesque village of Saint-Paul-de-Vence. We'll also be spending the second half of our adventure in Monaco, a principality that has some fantastic shops, restaurants, and of course, the world-famous casino. We'll begin our trek right after these messages.
Thinking of indoor or outdoor signs? At PP Print, we can help with so much to offer. Just ask. We've got you covered. PP Print, where experience pays off.
Pet Value has a fleet of services to help you and your pet live their very best lives. Visit Pet Value Port Perry for all of your pet's needs. Pet Value, your pet, your store.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, in the first half of this program, we'll be exploring the French Riviera and then make our way to Monaco and the city of Monte Carlo. Most people, when visiting the Côte d'Azur, start their journey in Nice, and we'll do just that. The French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur, is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Because of its great climate, fantastic beaches, and accessibility, it has always been a getaway for the rich and famous. Only in latter years has the general population been able to afford a visit to this exotic destination. Be warned, if you're coming from North America or Asia, or even from the rest of Europe, you may be shocked by the prices. Plage de Marigny, the main beach in the area at the end of the quayside, is a sandy favorite for families, with its expansive facilities and ice cream huts, making it an easy choice for a long sunny day. The metropolitan area of Nice extends beyond the administrative city limits. With a population of nearly 1 million on an area of 744 square kilometers, it makes it about the same geographical size as Helsinki, Singapore, and New York. To give you a little history, Nice was founded by a colony of Greek mariners around 350 BCE and was named in honor of a victory over a neighboring colony. Conquered by the Romans during the 1st century CE, it became a busy trading station. The town was occupied by the Count of Provence during the 10th century, and in 1388 passed to the protection of the Count of Savoy, who held it until 1860. Although it was captured and occupied several times by the French during the 17th and 18th century, it was not until the Treaty of Turin in 1860 that the city was ceded to France. Nice is a very tourist-friendly city, both in summer and winter, and focuses on safety and large pedestrian walkways with easy access to shops. Apart from the beaches and yachting harbor, tourism is stimulated by Nice's cultural facilities, its shops, and its architectural heritage. In addition, numerous events and festivals are organized each year, notably the Carnival of Nice, which dates from 1873 and includes an open tennis tournament. Nice is a major commercial and administrative center with numerous small and medium-sized factories located on the west side. High-technology firms often work closely with the University of Nice, which was established in 1965. The warm waters of the Mediterranean play an integral part in the fun activities one can enjoy while visiting Nice. The town's large port is bustling with maritime life, and you can see small fishing boats bobbing on the harbor in the shadow of huge cruise liners. For the seasoned sailors, boat rentals of all sizes are available along the waterfront. For the rest of us, there are many charters and cruises available covering anything from short sightseeing excursions to overnight stays. The very wide marble Promenade d'Anglais, which translated means walkway of the English, was paved for 19th century English tourists who wanted a safe place to stroll and admire the view without getting their shoes dirty or their feet wet. Today, it is still a haven for people as well as bikes and rollerblades, and one can actually follow the path all the way to the airport. The beach is quite popular, although it's not very sandy. The pebbles are a little coarse, but it doesn't stop people from sunbathing or jogging at sunrise. There are many public stretches of beach in the Nice area, but most of them are private. This means you have to pay to rent a spot, which normally comes with a mattress, a lounge chair, and an umbrella. Our next stop along the French Riviera is the film capital city of Cannes. This part of the Mediterranean coast has a subtropical climate. Consequently, the city enjoys about 11 hours of sunshine per day during the summer, with temperatures regularly reaching 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. In winter, the weather is mild, and both seasons see a relatively low rainfall, with the majority of rain occurring during October and November. Needless to say, Cannes is a wonderful city to visit. Named for the canes of its once reedy shore, it was settled by the Romans in the 4th century and came under the protection of the monks of Lorraine. To guard against Muslim sea raiders, the monks built fortifications in the 10th century. Napoleon, on the first night of his return from Elba, stayed along with a small army outside of the village of Cannes. Cannes has been known as an international resort city since the early 1800s. A British statesman, Lord Brougham, made an annual pilgrimage to Nice to enjoy the weather during winter months. In 1834, however, he was prevented from visiting the city due to a quarantine and stumbled on a small fishing village on the picturesque coast. He purchased a tract of land and built an estate. Owing to Brougham's influence, Cannes became a popular tourist destination. Along with the famous film festival, Cannes is also known for its palm-planted Promenade de la Croisette, which follows the curve of the sandy beach and is fringed with luxury hotels. Hotels such as the International Carlton, dating back to 1911, has been a favorite for celebrities throughout the decades. The Hotel Barrière Le Majestic, across the street from the Cannes Festival, is another famous establishment with many rooms overlooking the Mediterranean. Robert De Niro, Matthew McConaughey, Paris Hilton, and Sylvester Stallone are among the countless celebrities who have stayed here. As beautiful as the city of Cannes is, if it were not for the film festival, it would surely be overshadowed by Nice and Monte Carlo. The festival was called the International Film Festival. However, in 2003, the name was changed to the Cannes Festival. It is an annual event which previews new films of all genres, including documentaries from all over the world. The festival was founded in 1946 and is an invitation-only event held annually in May. It is among the top 3 festivals in the world, alongside the Toronto International Film Festival and the Sundance Film Festival. The city is a haven for art lovers, and tourism is its main source of revenue. In winter, foreign visitors make up 2/5 of the traffic. There's an international market for flowers, and the city is well known for mimosa, a cocktail of champagne and chilled orange juice, which has been famous in Cannes since its introduction from Santo Domingo in 1835. Our adventure continues with a stop to the small mountaintop village of Saint-Paul-de-Vence, an old town that looks like a nest from a distance. The village is built on top of a small elliptical hill and is surrounded by a high wall. Saint-Paul-de-Vence is a medieval village, and today it's a real mecca for artists who have been coming here since the 1920s. Among others, Picasso, Matisse, and Chagall have stayed here and created their works. Chagall actually lived in St. Paul for 19 years, and he's buried in the local cemetery. The village has also hosted world cinema stars including Greta Garbo, Sophia Loren, and Catherine Deneuve. The artists usually spend the night in a hotel and restaurant called the Colombe d'Or, which is located in front of the walls of the old town. Most of the famous artists paid for their stay in kind, leaving their works for the owner, who displays them throughout the establishment. The village of Saint-Paul-de-Vence is the attraction itself. It is well worth walking the Rue Grande or Main Street, which leads from the entrance at the North Gate throughout the entire village. Along the way, you'll pass charming little galleries, shops, restaurants, and art studios, which in Saint-Paul-de-Vence are a dime a dozen. One of the more often photographed attractions is the impressive fountain in the Place de Grande Fontaine. During the Middle Ages, it was the most important place in the old town. The village's mountaintop made it an ideal location for a fortification. At the highest point, there was once a castle, but unfortunately today only a small building is left. Many of the residents gather to enjoy a game of boules and solve the problems of the world. The French Riviera, or Côte d'Azur as it's also known, is a spectacular place to visit. The city of Cannes, home of the International Film Festival and the famous Boulevard de la Croisette, was fantastic. Exploring the tiny but extremely picturesque village of Saint-Paul-de-Vence was a treat, and the beaches of Nice were among the finest in the world. When we come back, we'll explore the Principality of Monaco and its famous city of Monte Carlo.
At Voss, your independent grocer, it's all about hometown living and shopping. Owned and operated by Port Perry's own Terry and Christine Voss, the independent grocer carries many local items to support our town and its residents.
Welcome back. As promised, we're going to spend this half hour in Monte Carlo, the capital and only city of the Principality of Monaco. While visiting this beautiful country, I stayed at the Fairmont Hotel directly on the Mediterranean. The Fairmont Monte Carlo is a unique hotel and resort located next to the legendary Monte Carlo Casino. It dates back to the early 70s when it was built as a Loews hotel. It is one of the largest resorts in Europe with 600 guest rooms, residence, and suites. And yes, it has a private beach. The Principality of Monaco, with its only city of Monte Carlo, lies nestled between the French and Italian Rivieras. The entire country is about 2.5 square kilometers or 1 square mile in size, with only 30,000 residents. It is the second smallest country in the world next to the Vatican. Monte Carlo has many parks, and Les Parcs Pélagus, located between the casino and the Fairmont, was a great place to walk around and admire the foliage and surrounding buildings. Many people take advantage of the beautiful weather and can often be seen walking their pets, jogging, or sitting on a bench enjoying a baguette. There are only about 8,000 true Monégasques, as they're known locally, but the other 22,000 call Monaco home because there is no income tax. Monaco is a principality ruled by Prince Albert II. It became well known throughout the rest of the world in the 1950s when Prince Rainier III married American movie star Grace Kelly. Their life was a fairy tale, which sadly ended with a tragic car accident, leaving some unanswered questions. Visible from anywhere in the city is the Prince's Palace, the residence of the royal family. There are many options for transportation in Monaco, but I decided to walk everywhere. The weather was good, the Mediterranean Sea refreshing, and the exercise was certainly needed after many wonderful meals. The palace is built on the site where a medieval castle once stood. Walking to the top takes about half an hour, but can easily be lengthened with constant stops to view the beautiful scenery below. Statues and watchtowers line the road and make for an interesting trek. As you enter the gate, you come upon a statue of Francois Grimaldi, who, in 1297, disguised as a monk, sought shelter in the castle. On obtaining entry, he murdered the guards, whereupon his men miraculously appeared and captured the fortress. The castle became the stronghold of the Grimaldi family, and today's ruler, Prince Albert, is a direct descendant. It is the longest reigning royal family in Europe. Every day at noon, tourists pack the square in front of the palace to watch the pageantry of the changing of the guards. The palace guards protect Prince Albert and the ruling Grimaldi family 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We continue our walk down from the palace to visit the Princess Grace Rose Garden. Conceived by Prince Rainier III in memory of his wife Princess Grace, the Rose Garden is laid out according to the principles of an English garden, while retaining a Mediterranean character through the planting of 100-year-old olive trees. It was opened in 1984 and expanded in 2014 to mark its 30th anniversary. Monaco's culture has strong influences from its neighbors, France, Italy, and Spain, with French making up the largest group at 28%. This means that French influence is huge. The ruling Grimaldi family has played an important role in promoting culture and the arts in Monaco. Visitors will find an amazing array of world-class galleries and music performances throughout the year, many supported by the royals themselves. The Constitution allows for religious freedom, yet Monaco remains a Roman Catholic nation with 78% of the population practicing. This is the Saint Devote Chapel, and here we see the Church of St. Nicholas Riccia, built in 1888. Visiting Monaco and seeing the beautiful buildings makes one wonder if living there is feasible. I took a trip to Sotheby's to explore the real estate market and was quite surprised by what I found. First of all, not everyone can live in Monaco. If you're a citizen of the European Economic Union, you can apply using your passport. Everyone else, however, has to apply for a settlement visa, which is given by the French authorities, and it's extremely difficult to obtain. In addition to its climate and natural environment, one of the advantages of the principality is the absence of any income tax. This is a result of an ordinance issued in 1869 by Prince Charles III. Coincidentally, that was 6 years after the casino opened. There is no wealth tax, no property tax, and no housing tax within the principality. Of course, everything depends on location, but a 61 square meter or 650 square foot flat with an ocean view will run about 6,000 euros or 8,600 Canadian dollars a month. Did I mention it consists of 2 rooms, a bedroom and a bathroom? To purchase the same unit would be about 1.6 million euros or 2.3 million Canadian dollars. Shopping in Monte Carlo can be a full-time affair with all the top designer stores and jewelers located in the vicinity of the casino. For those not too fortunate at the roulette tables, window browsing is a very good alternative. There is no shortage of dining opportunities when visiting Monte Carlo. From small bistros to street vendors, there is something for everyone. If you have the time, a meal at the famous Café de Paris will satisfy your taste buds, but be sure to make a reservation well in advance. If you're in the mood for fast food, McDonald's and Starbucks are a few of the international chains who have found a home among the baguettes and patisseries. You can also try the national dish of Monaco, a barbajoine, which is a mouth-watering variety of a fritter stuffed with ricotta cheese and Swiss chard. One of the most amazing sights in Monaco is the types of vehicles seen everywhere. Bentleys and Rolls-Royces compete with Lamborghinis and Porsches. And the people who drive them look just as elegant. Electric compacts are starting to make their mark. However, it is not uncommon to see unique roadsters which seem to date back to a bygone era. Everyone associates Monaco with the Grand Prix, and the event is still the top tourist attraction in the country. This Formula One racing event is held annually in late May or early June, and has been since its inception in 1929. The most difficult turn in the Grand Prix is the Grand Hotel hairpin, now known as the Fairmont hairpin, as it's located directly in front of the hotel. Taken at speeds of only 65 kilometers an hour, it may sound slow, but having seen it makes you realize its treachery. Of course, the casino in Monte Carlo is as famous a landmark as the Eiffel Tower in Paris and the Colosseum in Rome. The idea of opening a gambling casino in Monaco was supposed to save the House of Grimaldi from bankruptcy. The ruling family's persistent financial problems became especially acute after the loss of tax revenue when 2 nearby towns declared independence from Monaco in 1848 because they refused to pay taxes on olive oil and fruit, which was imposed by the Grimaldis. The Casino de Monte Carlo was constructed in 1863. It's owned and operated by a public company in which the Monaco government and the ruling royal family have a majority interest. The company also owns the principal hotels, sports clubs, food service establishments, and nightclubs throughout the Principality. Driving along the coast, we arrive at Fort Antoine, built in the early 18th century. It was destroyed in 1944 and was rebuilt by Prince Rainier III in 1953 as an amphitheater. The views of the Mediterranean are stunning, and there are small beaches for people to enjoy, as well as areas designated for fishing. The large building attached to the old fort is the Oceanographic Museum, which houses an aquarium in the basement. The museum was opened in 1910, and ocean explorer Jacques Cousteau was its director from 1957 to 1988. The museum celebrated its centenary in March of 2010 after extensive renovations. Situated on the Mediterranean, Monaco and its principal city of Monte Carlo is home to some of the finest watercraft in the world. You cannot buy a berth in which to keep your yacht in Monaco. You can only rent one, and the government has always been very careful to control its marina. It is usually people who live in Monaco or very close by who rent berths because they're safe and extremely prestigious for high-profile individuals. There are only 1,032 berths, and they're offered to the 8,000 nationals living in Monaco. The rental price for a berth to accommodate a 15-meter or 45-foot yacht is between 1,200 and 2,400 euros a month, depending on the season. That's about 1,700 to 3,400 Canadian dollars. With costs like that to rent a berth, you may wonder what type of boats people own. The Monaco Yacht Show, now in its 29th year, welcomes about 125 super yachts. The total value of the boats in the harbor is about $4 billion US. The average price is about 36 million euros or 51 million Canadian dollars. But it does include the odd heliport as well as a spa. And you can imagine the cost of the parties you're expected to throw. To give you some idea of pricing, this is the Dilbar, the world's largest yacht by gross tonnage, and it's valued at 256 million US dollars. It's owned by Russian billionaire Alisher Yuzmanov. Here we see the Dutch-built Royal Romance, a 93-meter or 300-foot yacht valued at 200 million US dollars. She carries 22 crew members and accommodates 14 guests. Obviously, the price tag and size of these boats are staggering, but what struck me the most was how many of them there were in the harbors around the small principality of Monaco. And that ends our fantastic visit to Monte Carlo and the French Riviera. This destination is certainly up there with my favorite places to visit. For Photos and Travel, I'm Jonathan Van Bilsen. It's been my pleasure to be your tour guide today, and I look forward to our next adventure. If you like this program, please click the subscribe button and you'll never miss an episode.
Want to know what's happening in Skugog? News and lifestyle, changes in business, and all the entertainment information you'll ever need. Plus, each edition has a new Photos and Travel article. Look for your next copy in your mailbox.
At thestandardnewspaper.ca, we try to show you the lighter side of our community workers and shed some light into their work in our community. With human interest stories on how the community gives back and reporting on legislation which affect us all, the Standard News is raising the standard in your community.